Hey everyone, I took on a DIY project this weekend, and unfortunately, somehow I lost all of my before footage. I, but I am sharing with you a before photo from when I cleaned the patio. Sorry, it's not any better than what I've got, but it is what it is. And these bar stools came with the house. I'm not sure if you can tell on screen, but they're a dark green and they have an old rattan seat. So I decided to glow those up. And I bought some seat cushion foam at Walmart. It was about 10 bucks a square. And here you see me cutting out the chalk line that I drew around that rattan seat. I don't know how I lost so much footage, but I did. Anyway, so a serrated knife here. I've heard that if you have an electric bread knife, that works really well for this type of project, but I don't. So here I'm just kind of double checking my measurements, and it's a good thing I did because somehow I got the front chalk line a little too short. So now I'm just double checking the edges, and then I will trim it up to make it fit this cushion, or this seat rather, and I will then proceed with the rest of the plan. So that was my fabric I was showing you, and I got that at Hobby Lobby on clearance for, I think it was $7 a square foot. It's upholstery fabric. It's also rated for indoor-outdoor, which I find works really well in a situation where people might spill food or drinks on a chair. And here I'm showing you these rattan seats had some kind of weird thing that kept falling out of them. It looks like cornmeal, and it is not bugs, you guys. I don't know if it's just disintegrating on the inside, but this rattan is just wrapped around a wood frame. There's no actual wood board in the center. Look at all that stuff. It kept falling out on the patio, driving me crazy. Even though no one ever sat there, if the cat jumped up on there, it would knock some out. So I tried my best to knock out what I could, and I decided because of that, I would mount foam core board that I got at the Dollar Tree to the bottom of these chairs so that we could avoid fallout in the future. And then, of course, once I get the fabric around them, that will help as well. And here I'm just hot gluing this foam core on the edges, and I will then put the seat down on it because, again, there's no actual solid wood board in the center of that rattan. So I felt like the best way to make sure this stayed secure was to start with hot gluing the foam core on the base there. And then I'm going to shoot some staples all around the edges that will actually attach the foam core to the wood trim on the edges of the seat. So yeah, a lot of different methods to get this done, and I know it's silly, but if you guys have priced bar stools lately, to get some that look even halfway modern, oh my gosh, $150, $200 minimum. And of course, we're moving this summer, so I'm not looking to buy furniture to pay to move it, right? I'm going to be shedding a bunch of stuff. So it was probably silly of me to take this on, but you know, sometimes you just get the whim and you go for it. And really all this cost me what? About 30 bucks. Well, add in the spray paint. I left that part out. I spray painted these chairs white, obviously. And here I'm making sure the foam core covered seat bottom fits into the recession there on the chair. Now I'm going to get the fabric ready to staple onto the seat. And because these rattan cushions, I should say seats, have zero cushion, I decided I had to put the foam core on them or they just wouldn't be very comfortable. And so I am now stapling that fabric on. And that was quite a little project because there was so many layers, right? Oh gosh, but I got her done eventually. And now I am just checking the edges to make sure they look good. You know how that is when you're recovering something. You really have to stop and take a look occasionally before you keep going. And here I'm trimming off the excess material and folding the corners so that there's a bit of a pleat, if you will, so that things look nice and neat once they're mounted on the chair frame. It's always a little bit of a wrestling match if you've ever recovered a seat cushion, but it's usually worth the effort. And as long as you have a staple gun, it's really not that hard. It's just a little bit of time and back and forth and having, a little patience with working that fabric around to get it in the best position possible so that it looks nice once you get it on your frame. And the staples for the staple gun aren't that expensive either. And I used maybe, I don't know, a quarter of a package between the staples and the spray paint, the seat cushions, and the fabric. I think I spent about $30 total, or $15 a chair. And, even if we only get 3 months of enjoyment out of them, I just felt like taking this project on. And so I did for $30. If I'd gone shopping. So I'm real happy with the way they turned out. And I think it was time well spent. And here's a look at the tops of the old bar stools that had been inside. Now they're living on the patio. And here's a look at the finished chairs. I think they really brightened up the area. I'm very happy with the way they turned out. And the girls love them. The old chairs were basically the color of the floor there. So I'm very pleased, and I think it was time well spent. And I enjoyed the project. If only I hadn't lost my before footage. But oh well, live and learn. And I'm really happy with the way they turned out. Couldn't be more pleased. I think they really add to our decor, and that's what matters to me the most. And that the girls like them, of course. And here's a look from the front door. Thanks for watching.